Hey everybody, Jody here. I hope you guys are going to enjoy the revamp of my YouTube channel, and that includes my new little cover shot there. Today I have a process video for you guys using my Kuretake awesome watercolors that I splurged on. You can see my hands going in the video. That's because I originally had a narrative that was all ready to go, but for some reason it wasn't working after I loaded it in my software here. So I had to do a voiceover, but oh well. But here are the colors to the watercolors that I got, and I will link this. I'm going to have a blog post linking this as well. But I got this on Amazon, and that was the place I found the best price. And I've looked at them to get them in my shop before, and it's just, you just don't get a good price on them. So I want to show you guys how absolutely divine these watercolors are. The color is super, super creamy. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm just using my, I feel like it's ancient water brush pen from Stampin' Up. I think I have had that set for like 13 years or something, but you can get a good feel here and a good look at just how thick those watercolors go on and how awesome the color is. So yeah. Like I said, I'll link that below in the YouTube description box. The link is super long, so I apologize about that. I'm not sure why it's like that, but it's a super long looking link. But anyway, so those are the Kuretake watercolors. I bought myself those for my 40th birthday this year, and I deserved it, so I bought them for myself. All right, so for today's layout, I actually got a little ahead of myself when I started creating the background by putting some gesso on the American Crafts cardstock. And then after I saw how it was turning out, I was like, oh, I should really film this because this is really looking pretty cool. So I used that aqua color, and in the white space there where I've got my left hand, I left that blank intentionally, thinking I was going to have a larger photo there. But you'll see later that I changed my mind. So, and of course I've got some of that luscious watercolor on my brush, and I refuse to waste that. So I'm just brushing it on my background. And you can kind of see the edges of my paper are curled up a little bit. That doesn't really bother me. That's just, it doesn't bother me. It's kind of part of, you know, the price to pay for doing some mixed media on your layouts. And I'm good with that. So all right, so what the papers that I'm going to end up incorporating are from the I Am collection from Snipple Stories, which you can see to the left. And now I am showing you guys the gold color real quick because I forgot to show you guys that before. So this is the gold. Look how amazing that is. It looks like a bar of gold like you would see at a bank. It's crazy. So that is what I use to make those splashes. And what I did to do those, you guys, is I loaded up that water brush with a good amount of the watercolor and then really squeezed it to make that tip of that really, really juicy. So there was like water coming out of it while there was watercolor on the paintbrush. And all I do to make those little splashes, and they turned out kind of curvy, was to literally like hit the water brush on the top of my finger so it would have a stopping point. And that's like what happened. So I really like there's some kind of funky curved splatter marks there. It's different, kind of one of those cool happy accidents that happens in crafting. So that's how I made those. That's how I do it with a paintbrush too. It works pretty similar with the paintbrush. So I'm going to be scrapping this picture of our daughter Hannah. This is from last summer. They are or have become quite the little fishes when they go swimming. So this is her super excited about not having to have like a floaty on. She just has like a noodle and her little goggles. And those are some of the I Am little cards from the Simple Stories collection. I don't really like the lighter colors. I really like this like darker teal with this coral color. So I'm probably going to be mixing in some of that. And of course, I have to use this awesome like text paper. This is a printable from Claudia Van Ar Designs. And you guys, if you have not checked out her Etsy shop or her website, which I'll also link below, you have to check her out. Her designs are absolutely beautiful. She's got at least 3 collections out right now. A Valentine's collection, one called Amy, and another one called Hot Right Now that just came out for summer. And this text paper is from the Hot Right Now collection. Other products I'm going to be using today are these Kaiser Craft. It's a combination die and stamp set. It's called Cute Tags. I don't use a whole lot of dies, but I find when I do, I absolutely love them. So I'm going to be using that set. I'm not sure if I'll use the dies or just the stamps, but I do plan on using that set altogether. And okay, you guys, so here we are in very fast speed, kind of going through. I'm just picking up some of the I Am collection cards from Simple Stories. I think I got that kit. It was like one of those small kits that only had the cards and some of the embellishments in it. I picked it up at Michael's at like 50% off, like, I don't know, it was before Christmas. I just grabbed it because I like the colors of it. So I'm just layering up some of those different colors, and then I'm using some craft foam there in a dark purple color, because, you know, it doesn't matter because it'll be behind the pictures. And then I'm going to use that to pop up my photo, or my matted photo cluster thing there. So I've said it before, but my girls and I love watching Jennifer McGuire, and that's where we learned it from. So we've been using craft foam for stuff like this like crazy, and it's like perfect. I love it. All right, so I'm just going to add some more of these little tiny square things. I don't do a whole lot of pocket pages, so these little 2x2 squares were kind of tough for me to use, but I figured it would be good to use them on a layout in this kind of layered, messy layers type design I got going on here. So the little Simply Me, that's like a gold foil. That's from Simple Stories also, and I'm still playing around with this. It's an acetate from Studio Calico. I used it on one of my recent layouts too, and it's really, really cool. I couldn't get it to work for this layout. I wanted it to, but maybe next time. So I'm just kind of tucking in some more layers behind my photo cluster here and kind of playing with this. I originally really wanted to use this little like I am checklist thing. I really wanted to use it bad, you guys. I don't know what it was, but I really wanted to use it. So you'll see me kind of play around with this and figure out like how I can make this work and, you know, whatever. But in the end, I end up not using it, so I'm sure I'll use it in the near future on something. Just cutting apart the doily that I showed you guys the watercolor on earlier. And then I'm cutting apart some of this text sheet from Claudia Venner Designs, and I'll tell you guys, this is really, really fun to do. I haven't used a whole lot of this text paper, and if I have, I've used the whole sheet of it, but cutting apart these little phrases and little words is like, it's cool. It adds a really neat effect to your layout. You can mix and match words, mix and match the phrases. And the cool thing is that most of the sayings are more, you know, summer themed with poolside, you know, sunglasses, things like that. But you can also take out small sections like I love you, you rock, I want to remember today, or something like that. Like those little phrases are in there too. So those are perfect to take out for you know, just for any layout. Okay, so let's see, what am I doing here? I grabbed, I'm trying to make that black and white piece fit too, but that just wasn't working for me either. The enamel dots are sitting there. They don't end up making it into the layout, but the thought was there. I pulled them. It's all good. There's a lot of times that happens when you're pulling stuff and you're trying to play with stuff and make something work and just make it happen, but it doesn't. And you know what? It's all good. All right, so next I'm going to cover these dark wood veneer anchors and a little sailboat with gesso. And the reason I'm doing that is I really wanted to use them on the layout because it's a water theme. You know, we're not at the beach or we're not on a boat, but she is in a pool, and I have a bunch of them and I really want to use them. So I cover them with gesso, and I cover them with that particular medium because it's thick and it's going to hide the background. The gesso, you really can't see through it, and you're going to see me fight with these little guys in my heat gun here because they want to fly all over the place. The gesso does a great job of hiding the wood grain, especially a dark wood grain color. I mean, the dark wood grain just, I didn't like it at all. So I covered it with gesso, and that worked awesome. It covered them up. It was, you know, then they were white for me, or pretty much mostly white. And then I used my awesome new watercolors to add some color to them. They turned out really cool, you guys. You know, they don't look like they would if you bought them in the store, but you got to make do with what you have sometimes, and altering what you do have to use up some of your stash is like huge. So that's what I did here. I altered these using some white gesso, and now I'm trying to get them to stay in one place because they are hopping all over on me. I'm trying to use my scissors as like a guard bar, but it's not working. So luckily they dried pretty fast, and then I could just start playing with them on my layout. And so far I really like how this is turning out. Right now I do think that it's not balanced because I did leave so much white space in the lower left corner. So you'll see me revisit that pretty soon. But until then, I'm having a blast just cutting apart these little letters and our little words and little phrases, and just trying to get some fun stuff on my layout here. So anytime you guys use gesso or watercolor or whatever on cardstock, your paper is going to warp, right? So it doesn't really bother me in the long run because it goes in my album and it gets flattened out for the most part. But when you're working with it on your surface, that drives me crazy. Like the edges of this layout were curling up, and it was driving me nuts. So I had to use some washi tape to just tape them down so they didn't drive me crazy. So now you're going to see me go back and add some of the watercolor, and I hope you guys can see, like, this watercolor goes on like butter. Like, it's amazing. I'm hoping this video will do that justice, but it is so pretty. And it goes on really, really easily. It's just like, it's so smooth. I can't even express to you guys how happy I am with these. It was $30 well spent, that's for sure. And I don't often say that with scrapbook supplies. Because you like getting them on sale, right? Everyone likes a good sale. So, all right, so now I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow and just bring in some more of the yellow and just kind of just highlight it with yellow, play with it. And then I had the bright idea to color some of the word or phrase things that I cut apart in the yellow. And oh my goodness, do I love it. I think it looks really, really cool. And now I'm just going to kind of play around with where I want those wood embellishments. And those are actually being cleared out in the shop. I'm probably not going to carry the wood veneers anymore in the shop. And so all the wood veneers in the scrap shop are $2. So if you want any wood veneers or want to stock up, head over and you can grab all the wood veneers that are in the shop for $2. So it's a steal. So stock up. Tell your friends. All right, so I'm just going to add some more of these phrases. I left that one a little bit longer because I liked it. And I'm just going to add some more. You're going to see me kind of play around with some twine now. I really love the messy thread look, but I wanted a little bit more substance to it, so it looked more like rope. Since we're, you know, at a pool, there's, you know, a buoy rope at the pool and things like that. So I just wanted it to be more, I wanted it to be thicker than, you know, than thread. So I ended up using this twine from my stash, and I think that it's from, I believe it's from the Twinery. I think that's where I got that particular stuff. It's really nice. I really like the Twinery's twine. It's pretty nice. So now I am just, I just laid down a little loopy-loo design with my fine point nozzle there with some glossy accents. And I'm just gonna kind of roll with it. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it as far as the shape or the loopy-loo-ness of it, but it worked. That's kind of what I was going for there. I'm just going to soften that up just a little bit. And yeah, so I'm almost done with this, I think, you guys. I'm just going to do a little bit of stamping and then call it good. I'm going to use my Kaiser Craft Cute Tags stamp and die set. This one says remember this, and I stamp it off 3 times, so I've got like a little bit of an ombre effect there. And then I reached for my go-to date stamper from Dear Lizzie. I think I have had this, I don't know, I got it right when it came out, so I think I probably had it at least 5 years, if not more than that. And what you saw me do is I covered the end of it in washi tape that I did not want to get ink on. So first I left off the exact date. So I just stamped like best day ever, July, and then I covered up the last part of it because I didn't know the exact date, but I know that we were in the pool in July. And then just I'd stamped the year 2015. And now I'm just using these super cute hearts from the set to kind of just add some like heart bubbles and, you know, kind of enclose some of those floating words that I have and just kind of make it a little bit fun. So, and that one didn't stamp all the way because there was something in the way. So I just fixed that. And then I'm just going to stamp, oh no, I don't. I'm done. Woohoo! So now you're going to enjoy a couple still shots here at the end. I hope you guys enjoyed my process video. I really enjoy doing them. And hopefully you guys will subscribe if you're not already. Give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you very soon. Thanks, guys. See you later.